Alright YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a happy new year, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about two new pistols that I just got, and I want to go over them, talk a little bit about their features, why I got them, and what kind of purpose I see both of them fulfilling in my collection. So without further ado, here they are. Here I have on my left a Gen 5 Glock 17. And on my right, I have the more interesting one. This is a Smith and Wesson M&P 2.0 metal carry comp. And as you can see, this one has a lot more features and a lot more additions to it than the Glock. But I'm going to put this one to the side for a moment. We're going to get the boring gun out of the way first. And when I say boring, I really do mean it's boring, because this Glock 17 here is completely stock out of the box. I only just got this yesterday, and nothing has been done to it at all. So the irons, or the plastic sights, are stock. The trigger, this gun is clear by the way. The trigger is completely stock, and as you can see, it is the same old Glock triggers that we're all used to. This actually has a decent wall. It's not too mushy. There's not too much travel after the wall. It just breaks cleanly, but there is a very distinct and very long reset. So it is what it is. It's a Glock trigger. You know, I think anybody who's shot a Glock before knows how these things are, so that should come as no surprise. I own a Glock 19 and a Glock 45, and those guns are my concealed carry and like serious self-defense capacity weapons. This one I got mainly for the vibes, as silly as that sounds. I got this for the vibes. I got this because I think it's going to be a fun little project to work on. A lot of people in the YouTube space have described Glocks as Legos for adults, and that's kind of how I see this pistol here. This is like an adult Lego set to me. I plan to trick this out, do terrible things to it, and basically turn it into something other than a Glock. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm not actually going to do that, but I am going to make a couple modifications to this in general, just to like spice it up a little bit. For example, on my Glock 45, I have an Aimpoint Acro P2 that is direct milled to the slide, and it came pre-installed with some Ameriglow suppressor height sights as well. I did a whole video on my 45, and I'll link to that up here if you guys would like to check that out. But yeah, I plan to change out the sights on this. I plan to probably mount an Acro P2 to this as well. I'm going to need to send the slide off to get milled by probably Jaegerworks or somebody, because as you guys can see, this is the non-MOS version, and there is no optics mounting system present on the slide. Aside from that, I do not plan to really change out any of the internals because even though this is a fun range toy, or it's going to be a fun range toy, I just don't want to induce or introduce the possibility of any reliability issues becoming present. So I am going to leave the internal stock, and I think I'm just going to leave the trigger the way it is. I don't plan to modify the trigger at all. I don't feel like that is necessary or a prudent investment. Not that this was a really prudent investment to begin with in terms of a pistol. But beyond that, yeah, right now in its current configuration, totally stock. Plan to change a couple things out, maybe make this a little bit more fun. But less is more when it comes to modifying your Glocks. So that's that. But next up, and this is the one that I would really like to talk about, this is the more interesting one. As you can see, this weapon is clear as well. There is nothing in the chamber, so this is safe to handle. This is also a completely stock weapon. I just added the Surefire X300 and the Trijicon SRO. And this is the Smith and Wesson M&P 2.0 metal carry comp. This is the Performance Center edition. Not that I really know what that means, but yeah, this is a Smith and Wesson Performance Center pistol. and it comes with an aluminum frame. That's kind of like the main feature behind this gun. That's the main like selling point as opposed to the rest of the M&P line. It's metal framed, it has adjustable back straps, and it has this extremely aggressive stippling on the front of the grip that when I get into my shooting grip and I mount my grip up, cinch down with my dominant hand, and then come in with my support hand and really crunch in laterally and present the gun, I can really feel the stippling on the front portion of the grip digging into my hands. It's almost painful, but you know, I just try to not have soft hands, and I get over it. So there is that. Aside from that, we started at the butt, but now we'll go to the tip. So we'll go tip to butt Grand Thumb style. Here we have a internally compensated barrel and the matching slide cut to go along with that. So this compensator is pretty good. I have already test fired this pistol, and the compensator definitely works. It works well enough, and it keeps the gun shooting reasonably flat. We also have a cosmetic slide cut here. I'm not sure if it really does anything, but it looks cool. And beyond that, there are some very aggressive front slide serrations here, which really help me like get anchored onto the slide when I'm racking it. And the way that I like to rack this gun right now is to get my fingers on these slide serrations and mount the base of my thumb on the top of the SRO and then rack the gun that way. That seems to be the most convenient way to rack the slide for me on this pistol. You know, and beyond that, it comes stock with some metal sights, so it definitely has that over the Glock. It's a blacked out rear sights and a tritium front sight as well. Beyond that, let's see, what else is there to talk about, really? Again, this gun is stock, so nothing's been done to it. Let's talk about the optic real quick. Funny story about the SRO. I didn't initially choose the SRO to mount on here. I was going to go with a Trijicon RCR because I like enclosed optics. Again, I use an aim-point Acro P2 on my Glock 45. But I went with the SRO because when I was shooting at my buddy's M&P 2.0, same exact model, he has a metal carry comp as well. He had a RCR mounted to his slide. And during a course of fire, I guess the screws on his RCR sheared off, and it sent the optic flying back 30 feet, and it hit our other buddy right in the face. Which, in retrospect, was pretty funny, but also pretty scary for everyone involved because we had no idea what had happened, and we thought someone had gotten seriously hurt. Fortunately, though, it was just an optic failing. So, yeah, that experience showed me that I should not go with the RCR, and instead I went with the SRO. It has longer screws to mount directly into the slide, and I just have a lot more trust that this optic is not going to go flying off the slide under rapid fire. Let's see. Additionally, I have a Surefire X300 mounted to the front of the frame. It's just there for cosmetic purposes. And that is going to kind of go into the why behind why I got this gun. I don't have any plans to compete in a shooting competition yet, but if I do in the future, you know, maybe that'll be a goal for this year to compete in my first shooting competition. This is probably the gun that I will bring with me to compete with. I feel like this setup, the way it is, being compensated and with a competition style optic already mounted, it's just going to be very ideal for competition, and none of my other guns really are suitable for that style of shooting. But this is definitely in its current configuration a bit more geared towards competition, and I feel like I could take this out there. And I don't think I'll be placing, I don't think I'll be like winning any titles with this. I'm really not that good of a shooter. But I could at least make it through a match with this. I'll say that. This gun is definitely going to be able to outshoot me, and I'm going to have to bring my skill level up to meet its proficiency and really like maximize the performance of this weapon system. But that remains to be seen. We're just going to see how things turn out. Finally, the final attribute that I wanted to go over that I think I skipped over is this trigger. Now, I spent a little time talking about Glock triggers, and anybody who's shot a Glock knows what I'm talking about. They're just painfully average at best. But this trigger in the Performance Center carry comp is not bad. It's definitely not a 2011 trigger. It's not like a staccato trigger or an Atlas trigger or a voodoo trigger. But for a semi-automatic striker-fired handgun, this is a pretty dang good trigger. I like this. So again, we are clear. If we just do this number, there's a lot of travel to the wall, just like my Glock. But the wall is extremely distinct. There is absolutely no travel after that, and it's a very clean break. The reset, however, is quite faint. Let's do that again. Very, very faint reset. However, in my test firing of this pistol, I have not found the reset to be a bad thing at all. The trigger on this is just really nice in general. It's much better than a Glock trigger, again. And I'm excited to take this back out to the range, continue shooting it, continue shooting both pistols, really, and you know, just work this thing really good. With that being said, though, I'm going to cut the video here because I feel like I've talked long enough. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this style of video, this like very unscripted rant style video. Let me know what you guys want to see me do with these pistols. If I do end up doing a competition this year, I'll be sure to try and capture as much footage from that as possible, and let you guys know how it went, whether it went well or absolutely horrible. So I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I especially want to thank everybody who has been with my channel from the beginning. It has been now almost 2 full years that this channel has been up, and there has just been a great amount of support from a lot of you. A lot of you have stuck with my channel since the beginning, and you continue to support me through all of it as the content changes, as I find new interests and find different things to talk about. A lot of you guys have stuck around with me, and I genuinely appreciate all of your support. It truly means the world to me. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you all stay safe. I hope you have an amazing 2025. Again, stay safe, stay blessed, protect yourselves out there, and be well. Take care.